right, this paper we're going to work on solving 1- and 2-step equations. They should be pretty simple to do. Nothing terribly complicated on this paper, but I'm going to try to jump around and hit a couple of different types. So I'll start up here at letter E. I always circle my variable and anything that's in front of it, like a sign, plus or minus sign. And I have to get rid of what's on the outside of it. So this is a positive 7. To make it a 0, I have to do subtract 7 from each side. So I'm left with a 18y's, and negative 29 minus a 7 is going to be a negative 36. I have to divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is negative 18. I divide by the number and the sign. Positive, a negative and a negative makes a positive when I divide. So 36 divided by 18 is 2. Down here at letter U, we have a division. I'm still going to circle, separate. There's a 15 on the outside of that circle, so I have to subtract it away. Because it is positive, I have to subtract. 22 minus 15 is 7. So a negative W divided by 6 is 7. When I'm dividing and I have a negative, to undo a division, we have to multiply. To undo the negative, I need another negative. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 6. Negative 6 times a negative 6, W divided by negative 6 would cancel to become a positive 1W. 7 times a negative 6 means that W would be negative 42. Now when we get into problems that have fractions, there's a special way to handle fractions. I'm still going to circle, divide, and either add or subtract away what's on the outside. This is a minus 11, so to get rid of a minus 11, I have to add 11, the opposite. Whoops, just completely rewrote that 4. So 4 plus 11 is 15. To get rid of a fraction, normally I would, because this is 3/8 times an x, you would divide because it's multiplication. But when you divide fractions, there's a special rule, is that you have to divide by its multiply by its reciprocal to make it a 1. So if I take negative 3/8 and I multiply by its reciprocal, negative 8/3, I'm using a negative so that the negative will go away. 3 times 8, negative 3 times a negative 8 is a positive 24, and an 8 times a 3 is a positive 24. That makes a 1. The 8's cancel, the 3 cancels, leaving me with 1x. And I have to multiply this side by 8/3 as well. Negative 8/3. So my answer will be negative because I'm multiplying by a negative. Now I can do 15 times 8, and I'll end up with 120, and then divide it by 3 for 40. Or I can recognize that 15 will divide by 3 evenly and become a 5, and a 5 times 8 is a 40. Either way, I should get x equals negative 40. I multiply by a negative to get rid of this negative, so I have to multiply by a negative over here, which would turn this positive 15 into a negative 40 when I do 8/3 of it. So be sure when you're doing problems like this that you're multiplying by the reciprocal to get rid of it. Multiply by the reciprocal to get rid of it. Reciprocal just means that you flip the fraction.